Research is an important phenomenon that deals with the exploration of facts, exploration of new materials through a systematic way are different means for which different research tools, research methods are employed by the researcher. According to a layman definition of the research, it adds something new to the existing fund of knowledge. So this existing fund of knowledge can be performed or employed in different fields or walks of life. It can be in physical or numerical sciences, biological sciences, in arts and humanities and social sciences. Different scholars have used different definitions for this research. For example, according to John W. Creswell, it is a process of steps used to collect and analyze information to increase our understanding of a topic or issue. To collect and analyze information. For this thing, three different aspects are very much important while carrying on a research. The first thing is to pose a question. You have a problem in mind. For example, you are dealing with Russia-Ukraine war, you are dealing with issues of security in our country or issues of inflation or economic development, etc. You have a particular question in mind, then you collect data to answer the question. You collect data through different data collection tools. Sometimes you apply the primary sources, sometimes you apply the secondary sources, you apply the qualitative or quantitative research methods, and then you analyze or present an answer to the question. Well, this presentation or analyzing answer to the question is based upon your applicability of what you have collected and what you have applied, and you get the findings, you get the recommendations, and you get the conclusion. For a research, one has to be very much objective. Then, according to Clark and Clark, research is a careful and systematic and objective investigation. Now, systematic, it has to be through different stages. For example, you have the research questions, you have the objectives, you have the problem statement, you have the theoretical framework, and the basis of your theoretical framework you move towards your conceptual framework, and it has to be very objective investigation. Now this objectivity in research is different in qualitative research from quantitative research, or rather we say in physical, numerical or biological sciences this objectivity can be easily determined, but in social sciences objectivity is very much difficult to be determined, because you are dealing with an issue on the basis of your own approach, on the basis of your own applicability. Somebody may be conducting research on, for example, Park-Lewis relations or Fark-Afghan relations, or somebody would be applying the balance of power or balance of deterrence theory. The researcher may have his or her own approach. It is not like for example, Einstein's postulates or Newton's law of gravitation or Boyle's law 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Conducted to obtain valid facts, draw conclusions, and establish principles regarding an identifiable problem in some field of knowledge. Now, this identifiable problem in some field of knowledge means you have to a problem in mind. First thing is identification of your problem. Unless you have identified a problem, you cannot move forward with your research. And then research, according to John W. Best, is considered to be more formal, systematic, intensive process of carrying on the scientific methods of analysis. Scientific methods can be applied in practical sciences, but in social sciences, this application of scientific methods can be used in some ways, but even here the element of objectivity would vary from researcher to researcher. You are talking about, for example, the performance of a government. So how would you evaluate the performance of a government when you have different political affiliations, you have different considerations, you have your own likes and dislikes, you have your own priorities. It involves a more systematic structure of investigation, usually resulting in some sort of formal record of procedures and report of results or conclusions. Whether you are dealing with research in social sciences or other fields of life, even in social sciences where we say that normally there is the element of credibility, because a person may be doing research on one area, he may have different theoretical framework. The same issue can be addressed by another researcher through applying, for example, security dilemma or zero-sum game theory or the balance of power or balance of deterrence or even through liberalism. But the thing is, how do you carry on your research and how do you objectify your research? It can better be objectified when you are more concerned with your research questions, your objectives. You make a critical appreciation or critical analysis of what you have studied. You have reached out to the conclusion and you compare your research on the basis of different research scholars. One thing is very much common, that there is no finality in research. There is always a space or room available for research. To research have different types and different forms. There may be the fundamental research, the qualitative, the quantitative, the experimental, the historical, the evolutionary, the normative, the non-normative forms of research. But normally we talk about the research on the basis of objectives and purpose. Then there is the basic research, the applied research,